Welcome everybody to the second episode of Anime SHOWDEATH. Today's combatants are Brawlhalla's Orion versus 7 Deadly Sins Harlequin. Now, for Orion's stats are attack city level, dexterity hypersonic level, durability planet level, and speed hypersonic level. Now, before I move to the next scene, I'm going to say that if he were in an actual death battle scenario, then it would be possible for him to switch between stances during combat, which would kind of make it a little bit more powerful. But in a real scenario, we're giving everybody the opportunity to use every single skill they have. So if they have different stances, there's no reason whatsoever why they cannot use those other stances. So if he becomes country level attack with the attack stance, then he has country attack in that stance to use that that level of attack strength or everything else at that current time. So Orion's weapons go as such. Sunforged Spear's weapon skills are... These names are something that I made up myself. I'm going to be doing naming all of the SIGs myself, since the SIGs don't actually have their own names. So, Whirl Impalement. Spins spear in a circle in the air, then jabs it into the enemy. Okay? If he has the ability to spin his spear in the air, that does not mean that he only has the ability to use that skill while he's doing this SIG in a death battle scenario. In the scenario, he has the ability to spin the spear in a circle and then jab it into the enemy. For Jet Charge, charges up his jetpack and rushes towards the enemy. And Spear Guard spins his spear rapidly around his body, throwing enemies around as he moves. So, the Spear Guard, I think I spelled guard wrong on that, but whatever, we are not going to look at that. Spear Guard has the ability to do more in the death battle scenarios than just move enemies. If he needs to attack like oncoming weapons, then he can do that as well. And Armored Attack Rocket flips rocket and releases a single laser from the engine. That's Rocket's breath. Jet Lance charges his jetpack and rushes towards the enemy, Lance pointed out. And Laser Barrage jumps back and releases multiple lasers from his engine. If we're to assume the same things I said about the spear, then his Jet Lance has the ability to go a certain distance, as much as his jetpack can carry him, to use this skill. Now, technically, both of Orion's weapons are melee, whatever you want to call it. So he doesn't really have as many options against Harlequin as he should. But now we're going to do Harlequin's stats. Now, Harlequin's attack is country level. Harlequin's striking strength is country level. I'm doing striking strength instead of dexterity because in death battle scenarios, we don't usually talk about how fast they can hit. We talk about how hard they can hit. Harlequin's durability is country level. And Harlequin's speed is relativistic plus level. Now we're only talking about the version of King that we see in this picture here. If we were to talk about the one in the manga where he has his full wings, then Orion probably wouldn't stand a chance, but I don't know about that, because Orion is not really in the death battle scene, because we don't know very much about him other than the stats that he's given in Brawlhalla's game. Now, Harlequin's weapon. This is going to be a long thing for me to talk about, just so you guys know. The Spirit Spear Chastiful. I'm not going to actually say what I wrote down, but the Chastiful's primary form is a spear that he can move and use telekinetically, and it acts as a buzzsaw, which is similar to Orion's spinning circle thing. So, Guardian is a large bear covered in moss. Fossilization is used to petrify his enemies. Sunflower is a large sunflower that has the ability to shoot fire beams or energy beams from its center. Increase has the ability to create a swarm of daggers that Harlequin or King can control at will, which is why I said the thing I did about Orion's spear downsig. Luminosity is not necessarily something we need to talk about, but Pollen Garden has the ability to heal himself or others. And next we have the true Spirit Chassis Full. In this version, the Chassis Full is a lot stronger and is a lot taller. Guardian is a lot more muscular and a lot more monster-like, which offers higher offensive and defensive power. The Sunflower becomes a larger sunflower, which is more like a monster, as it has teeth and a mouth-like opening, and the mouth-like opening generates a huge amount of energy orbs that it can fire and deals massive barrage of explosive damage. Increase transforms into much larger and more ornate versions of its default daggers with enhanced power, and the Igara Cloth is a armor that has a statistics amplification system built into it. So that means that Harlequin or King has his own version of armor, which makes it easier for us to say that these two battlers have more in common than one might assume. So it's up to you for you guys to tell me who you think would win, because I am not going to be the type of person who's like, oh yeah man, of course Orion's going to beat Harlequin, or no, of course Harlequin has more power than Orion because Harlequin's OP in anime. Okay, so if you guys like this video, please leave a like. If you guys want to see me do the next one, get this video to 10 views, and if this video gets to 10 views, then I will upload the next one, which is probably going to be Nash, most likely. But we'll see you guys later. Hasta la vista, baby.